I will kick off with some slides. So I'm Diana, and here we have Karen. We are CoralWatch staff in Brisbane at UQ. And here we have our fantastic team of CoralWatch youth ambassadors in Townsville. And before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands we meet and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. So here we go, empowering the next generation of wave makers. So this is a group photo taken in January when we did our CoralWatch Ambassador, Youth Ambassador with Families workshop here for 5 days, and this was at Ames. They hosted us for a day. So just for those that don't know anything about CoralWatch, quick background, we are a citizen science program at UQ. We were always focused on pure marine science, collecting data on the reef to look at coral bleaching. And the last couple of years, we have changed our focus quite a bit, and we do much more in the sense of saving reefs from home so everyone can get involved to help protect the reef. And we started a new climate action program with the help and funding of the Great Barrier Reef Foundation. And that's our What Can I Do program. And our What Can I Do program is an interactive platform where you can learn about climate actions that you can do at home. It is focused on 7 categories of change. And within each category, we have 3 climate actions that you can do. And we ask users to give us feedback on the things they do already, the things they don't do, and the things they would like to do, which gives us insight to barriers for climate action. But the platform generates automatically a summary for the user of their carbon savings, and it provides a climate action plan at the end. So we have developed this with the help of fantastic social scientists, including one there, Tracy and Yolanda. And we took all their great advice on board to think about things that can create good reef stewardship. And we focused on elements as give information how to act, not only what you can do, but how do you do it and what other people do. So the platform provides a cumulative impact of everyone doing this together, and also what the impact for the individual actions can be. So you're not supposed to read this graph, so don't worry. It's just a pretty picture that summarizes our data. And up till date, so this was launched in January, we have had 859 participants. And most people already do a lot in waste and energy. Popular actions, things that people would like to do, is, for example, promoting CoralWatch, which is great, and being part of nature-based community groups. So people are definitely interested to learn more about habitat and help protect habitat. Less popular turned out to be advocacy, but also things like using public transport, which will be often related to locations that people live in, where there is not much public transport, which makes it hard. From those 859 participants, we have reached about 350 directly through our networks. So through our CoralWatch, established contacts, social media, etc. And so those are a bit converted, I would say, the people that already love to do things. But 500 people were approached through a market panel. And that gave actually really nice insights because the people were selected by age, location, and level of education, and were asked to use the platform, but also provide additional information about the functionality and the things they learned and what they like about it. And we got some interesting outcomes from that. So here we have a person that lives, a man that lives in the Fitzroy River, close to the reef, never heard of CoralWatch, does believe in climate change, but it is a natural cause. And he learned that simple changes can actually make quite a big impact. And he did think it was quite valuable to have a summary at the end. Here we have, one back. Here we have a young woman from Southeast Queensland, highly educated, never heard of CoralWatch, does believe in climate change, and learned new things, that even climate action can have benefits and can have health benefits, and that it's actually good for you. And she thought it was easy to navigate and a great tool also for the young generation to learn values early. Then we had a male from Burnett Mary River region who does visit the reef, so must kind of like it. I never heard of CoralWatch, does not believe in climate change. Net zero is crap. And the whole thing is built up on false interpreted facts. And he definitely did not learn anything. So when we asked the question if the participation in the challenge led to new understanding, we got some nice feedback. And 4 out of 5 people actually said yes. And that was not depending on where they live or if they heard about CoralWatch. People that were more likely to say no were from the Burnett Mary region again. And they were highly educated. And the people that said more yes, they were younger, identified as female, and believe in anthropogenic climate change. So does it matter if you believe in anthropogenic climate change for the outcomes? And this was really interesting to see. So the blue is the non-believers and the orange is the believers. And if we look at probably yes, in both graphs, they are actually almost the same. So the barrier to maybe adopt a climate action, even if you don't believe in climate change, might not be as big as we think, which we thought was quite an exciting outcome. So what's next? We are following up with these 500 participants in a few weeks to see if they have adopted the climate action, if they have done anything different. We are doing more data analysis to see what further outcomes and how we can improve the platform further, what barriers there are, how can we overcome barriers, and share insights. And we would love it if you participate in the What Can I Do platform to try to get us to 1,000 participants by October. And I'm going to hand over to Karen.
And I'm going to take you on a super quick journey from our newest form of communication, our digital platform, to the oldest form of communication, storytelling. So storytelling predates the written word. It's the way that we share information and make sense of the world. It's accessible, and you don't need to be a subject expert. A picture paints 1,000 words. Now, stories are that heart connect. When we talk to people and share with people our experiences, we're exchanging with them their experiences, their stories, and their perspectives. And it can help to motivate positive change. Showcasing positive change and outcomes actually helps to inspire change, but also to build people's sense of ability to take action. So increase people's agency that they too can get on board and do something that makes a difference. Our ambassadors are our superheroes. They have mass audience outreach. They tell lots of excellent stories. And I was going to say something, but it's just gone out of my head. So I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to get to the really good stuff, which is giving these people a voice because they tell excellent stories. So because we're under time constraints, we've got a series of questions. They're going to be quick fire with short answers so that we can hear their voices, hear of their values, their passions, and the things that they love about the Great Barrier Reef. So I'm going to give you that one. Okay. So, first question. If you could be a sea creature for a day, which one would you choose to be, Erin?
I would probably choose to be a dolphin to experience how they use echolocation to find out where they are going.
That's pretty cool. What's the most amazing thing that you have ever seen or would like to see, Anya, under the sea?
I think corals responding to the environment as it's changing, and she's better with words than I am. I think the complexity of how all the animals use the reef and just seeing such a diversity of fish in one spot, I find fascinating.
Yeah, me too. Okay. What colour do you think, Etna, when you imagine the reef?
There's all the colors of the world that you have on the reef, especially when you're diving and you can see, and the colors are changing too, based on how they're opening, how they're changing. It's the most amazing, like, I grew up in Europe, and when I came to Australia and snorkeling the reefs, that was the most amazing experience. It's something that it's the underwater world is much, it's amazing. So, yeah.
Why do you think the reef is important to people and animals, Gabby?
I think the reef's important to people and animals because, first of all, who doesn't like snorkeling? And it's important to animals because it's their home and environment, and they can find food, eat, well, like we all like to eat.
Charlie, what do you think would happen if we lost our coral reefs?
I think that all the animals in the reef would lose their homes, which would mean all the communities who feed off the reef wouldn't have anything to eat.
Ali, what does climate change mean to you?
What climate change means to me is, I think probably just accepting that we have an impact on our environment and believing in the people who are showing the proof of that.
Okay, Lincoln, if you could share one message with the whole world about climate change, what would it be?
Use less plastic.
Use less plastic and keep the reef fantastic.
Erin, one word for what the reef needs most.
Life.
If you were in charge of protecting the reef, what would you do first?
I think it's the everyday little things that I've learned that make the biggest impact over time. So I think education is probably up there. The more we understand it, the more we can do as a community. Yeah.
One thing that you think kids can do to help protect the reef?
I think to spread the knowledge across everyone and to look after how we can reduce the pollution, how we reduce the rubbish in every single day. And yeah, everybody can make small change in every single day, and that will make it huge.
So, Gabby, what's something you would like to tell adults about protecting the reef?
They should take their kids snorkeling a lot.
And Charlie, what one word would you tell a friend about why the reef matters?
Can we repeat the question?
Yeah. What's one word you'd tell a friend about why the reef matters?
Okay, one word about what I would tell a friend about why the reef matters. I would probably choose the word cohabitation. We're all living together.
All right, let's finish up here. Are you right, Lincoln? One word for how you'd feel if the reef is saved.
Inspired.
So this is some of our Townsville ambassadors. Not everyone could be here. We chose the last slot of the day because it's after school. But we'd like to also share a message from our ambassador from Rockhampton. He's got
Your difference matters. Your difference matters. You may not feel like you're doing anything and you may feel really overwhelmed with how climate change is going. But if we all do our little tiny changes, we will all together be making a massive difference. No matter how small, no matter how big, no matter how young, no matter how old, you can make a difference.